Hello everybody, I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, then please do. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a review, and the TV show review that I'm going to be doing is called Exo Kitty. So I'm going to be saying my thoughts on each characters, and then I'll say my thoughts on each episode, and then if I have anything else to say, I'll say that, and then I'll do the outro. This video will include spoilers in it, so if you haven't seen the show and you would like to, then please skip this video. Once you've seen the show, then you can come back. But if you don't care about spoilers, then keep on watching. So before I start talking about the characters, I want to say quick disclaimers. If my voice sounds weird, I'm sorry. I'm very tired. I've had a very busy week, and especially in the last couple of days has been very tiring. Like yesterday was a lot, the day before was a lot, today's probably going to be a lot as well, but right now I'm not really doing anything, so I thought why not, and plus it's a kind of sunny day, so I thought why not. And I've been wanting to film this review for a while now. I am trying to get back into doing reviews more, and I plan to do a review after this one, but it's when I have the time to film it. So if I sound weird, and then I apologize. If I don't sound myself, it's because I am very tired, and I wasn't planning to film today, but I said why not, since I'm not doing anything right now. Before I start with the review, I want to say a backstory or kind of non-spoiler review. So this series is based on Kitty Covey, who is the sister of Lara Jean from the movies From the Boys I Loved Before. She goes to a school in Korea that her long-distance boyfriend goes to, and it also is the school that her mum went to. So her mum passed away, but when her mum was younger, she went to the school as well. So she goes to the school to be with her boyfriend, who she met in the third movie, and she also goes there because she wants to feel closer to her mum and she wants to learn more about her mum. So originally I had no plan to watch the show. I did hear about it, but because I think at that time when I heard about the show, I hadn't seen the third one, so I wasn't really that interested. But then after I watched the third one, and then I think it came up on my recommendation, and people were talking about it, so I was like, you know what, I'll give it a chance, because there was one character that people kept on talking about, so I was like, oh, let me see what the show about. So I watched it and I really enjoyed it. It was there was sometimes that it was cringy, and I was thinking like, what am I watching? But it's a very enjoyable show, and there's flaws about it, but there's good things about it as well. So the first character I'll be talking about is Kitty. So Kitty is the main character of the show, and the main reason for her going to the school is because she wants to meet Day, who is her longest boyfriend of 4 or 5 years. And not only that, it happens to be the school that her mum went to. She has all this excitement, but then her world goes upside down, and we get plot twist after plot twist after plot twist. I feel like Kitty is very likable. She gives me very similar vibes to Davy from Never Have I Ever. You see her go through ups and downs and finding more about herself, and I feel like it was done in a very interesting way. Also, if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes on this phone, so that's why I'm looking down. Okay, so before the show came out, I saw how some people were saying they're going to skip the show because they say she was really annoying in the Boys I Love series. She does seem very selfish at times. I didn't know if that's the right word to use, but she does think a lot about herself, and there's times that she doesn't think about the well-being of her friends or those who are around her. I do understand that she's a teenager and she's in that stage in her life and she can be very naive, but something that I do like about Katie is that I see myself in her a lot. Like when she was like, oh, she might be bi or pan or gender fluid. As a main character, I thought she was okay. I don't have much to say about her apart from that I do prefer her way more in this show than I do in the series, All the Boys I Love series. Also, how the main thing about Katie is that she's a matchmaker, or she sees herself as a matchmaker, because she's the one who got Laura Jean and Peter together, or she's the one, because she's the one who sent out the letters, even though she should have sent it out. So I don't support her for that, but she is the one who helped get them together. Something else I want to mention is something my friend said to me, because she also had seen the show, because I said to her that she should watch it, so she's seen it as well. And she said to me is that she thinks she should have planned things better, because she went to this place not knowing any Korean, or barely knowing any, so, and also that she missed a train or she missed a bus, and she got in a car with someone that she didn't know. Yes, it ended up being Yuri and they were going to the same place, but she just got in the car with somebody she didn't know. So yeah, she should have known Korean before she went to the country, because even when Madison said, like Madison basically said, oh, it's okay, because I think they bumped into each other, right? And she's like, oh, I need to work on my Korean. And my friend was like, oh, you should have done that before, which I do understand, because I remember there was a time that I went to Paris or France, and when we were in the restaurant, there was like no one. We were waiting for someone who spoke English, and we were there for a very long time until we could find a worker that spoke English. And my mum, I think it was my mum, who was like, oh, well, they should have people that speak English, because they know that this is very like a tourist country or a tourist place. And I do understand what my mum's saying, but like we should have known English as well. Like my sister knows it because she was doing it in school, but apart from my sister, none of us really knew it. But the difference between us is that we were going for like a holiday, and Kitty was going for like a year, because she did say today that they would spend the whole year together, so she should have been more prepared. Because like when Minho was saying to basically today, and I think to Q as well, that she needs to work on her Korean, she was like, oh, what did you say to me? And he wasn't even insulting her. I can understand why she did assume that he was insulting her, because, you know, it's Minho, so, and they have that kind of relationship. But he wasn't even saying anything bad, but she just assumed that he was. So that shows how she didn't know the language, or she only knew like a little bit of it. So the next character I'm going to be talking about is Day. When talking about Day, there's two things I want to talk about. One is Day as a relationship, and two, his relationship with Kitty. So I feel like Day is very misunderstood. I see him getting a lot of hate, and I don't think it's deserved at all. I feel so much compassion for him, because it was clear that he's in love with Kitty, and having to pretend to be with Yuri and then being back with the person you love, just for them to say they have feelings for somebody else, and not just anyone, but the person you pretended to have a relationship with. With Day, I feel like he did end up getting the bad end of the stick, because he did seem like a good guy. When it comes to the whole Team Day versus Team Minho, I saw this post and the person's like, how can you be Team Day when Minho is right there? I feel like the reason why a lot of people don't like Day is because they found him very boring. Like, he lied over and over again. I do have to give him the benefit of the doubt. He did try to tell her many times. Like, it was the classic interruption trope. Like, he did try to tell her, like, even when he banged on the door, he tried to tell her. The time when he ran to her in her pajamas, he tried to tell her, but the phone kept ringing, so he did try to, but he did lie. Like, he lied about the fact that he's a witch, because she didn't know that the Yuri's taxi driver is Day's dad. So she did lie over and over again. So I do understand why people are not a big fan of Day. But to me, I do like him. Like, I don't feel like, yes, there's some parts I was like, okay, I can see why people don't like you, but there's some parts that I did feel sorry for him, because of, imagine, like, he was miserable. He was miserable when he had to pretend like he liked Yuri like her, and then finally getting back with Kitty, then find out that Kitty likes Yuri. Like, I would be heartbroken as well. So I can have like compassion for him. The next character I will be talking about is Yuri. I have to be honest, Yuri isn't one of my favourite characters, or even close to my favourite. I didn't like her attitude, and she gave off very like fake vibes. the kind of people that are nice to you, like to your face, but then they'll talk bad behind your back. With Yuri, what I did like is that you see her development, because I know a lot of people be like, oh well, she was only like that because she was in the closet and she did apologize, which was good. Like, I'm glad she apologized and she said she was going to be like more nice or whatever, but I still didn't like her. And the fact that she took the necklace, like, that was more, that's when I was like, yeah, no, I don't like you. The whole Yuri and Katie thing, the whole Yuri and Katie being together, I don't really ship it because I prefer her with Juliana, and I understand that because she was like in the closet, so that's one of the reasons why she acted like she did, but I don't think it justifies her actions. And yes, I'm glad she's being a better person now, but it doesn't justify her actions, and she still was iffy to me. Like the way that she clearly she just like very spoiled witch girl. Like that's the energy she gave me, and the way like when Dave was trying to run after Kitty and she took his hand. Like I was like, no, I don't like you. I'm glad that she came out to her mum in the end. Like that's good. Like because I did understand when she was saying that I'm tired of trying to pretend to live a life that you want me to, or something like that, because I felt like that before. But I think what some people are forgetting is that she has Juliana. She's in a relationship. Like it's not like she's doing all this and she's single. No, she has a relationship as well. So she's jealous of Dave being with Kitty when you literally have a relationship yourself. So and what didn't make sense to me is how she knew about Kitty, because she said, oh, I already knew about you, but she didn't know that Dave's mum's passed 3 years ago or however long it was. That didn't make sense to me. Like, was she and Dave not friends before all of this? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, as a character, she's not like one of my least favorite in the show, because you know I'm gonna get to that person later on. But as a character, I don't really like her. I do appreciate the growth she went through as a character, but no, I don't. She's not like one of my favorites. And what annoys me is that a lot of people don't like Dave, but they like Yuri. They're like, oh, I love Yuri, but Dave's boring, which doesn't make sense to me. But the next character I'm going to talk about is Juliana. So Juliana is the person who Yuri's dating, and we don't see much from her apart from when she surprises Yuri at the airport, and also when she comes to school and she like pulls her into the janitor closet. As a character, she seems okay, but what I find interesting about her is that she's obviously threatened by Kitty. She's like, oh, you're first she did this, and now you're living together. So she's threatened by her. Like you can tell she's threatened by her, and like the way you had to be like, oh, she's straight, and like that scene was a really good scene. She's like, oh, we're just friends, and she's obviously straight or whatever, or what happened in that scene. But yeah, like she's definitely threatened by Kitty. I do see where she's coming from, but she seems like she has some insecurities or things that she needs to deal with. I really hope that Juliana and Yuri are endgame, because they went through all of that, and then not to be together, that doesn't make sense to me. But at the same time, it's like Day and Kitty, I thought they were really cute together. I thought they were really cute together, and I hope they stay together. So the reason why I said it's kind of like Day and Kitty is because I was waiting for Day and Kitty, because she went through all of this to be with Day, and then they broke up. They wasn't together. They broke up. They broke up again. I'm like, so you went through all of this, and then they're not even gonna be endgame, which I do understand in their case. But with Juliana and Yuri, I think it's more. It would make more sense for them to be endgame than for Day and Kitty, because there was so much more mess with them than it was with Yuri and Kitty. Yuri and Juliana. Next character I'm going to talk about is Q. So Q is best friends with Day and Minho, and we see how he gets a boyfriend, One of my favourite things about Q is that he's kind of like the voice of reason. There are parts when Minho says today there's a part when Minho says today about Yuri, about how like she's one of the witches, she's a daughter, like she's very rich or something like that. Like don't blow that up or something. So don't mess that up or don't blow it up. And then Q's like, oh, and the love of your life is like 20 feet away from you. Don't mess that up. And I said, thank you, Q. Like, the voice of reason. He's a really good friend. He's the type of friend that, you know, he has your back. He's like the ride or die type of friend. And that's why I love Q with all my heart. And I know everybody's talking about Minho or Team Day, and I'm like, we should be talking about Q. Q deserves more recognition. He was one of my favourite characters in the show, and he makes me laugh a lot, and I love his friendship with Kitty. And one of my favourite scenes is when he's like, oh, he shouldn't be talking to Kitty because his team, he doesn't want to betray Day, because he's saying that he basically doesn't want to take sides. He doesn't want to be in the middle, and that shows what kind of friend he is. And yes, I'm Team Q, but not in like a shipping kind of way, because Q is gay. It's more of the because I really like him kind of way. Like I really like his character. So he has a boyfriend, and the way it ended was very sad. I will talk more about the boyfriend later on, but what I do have to say is that justice for Q. He didn't deserve that at all, and he deserves all the happiness. If I could give it to him, I would, but I can't. But if I was able to, I would give it all to him, and that's how much of happiness he deserves. Yes, I understand he's doing the bare minimum. But he doesn't just do the bare minimum. He goes like way out of his way. He goes way out of his way to do more than that. I will always appreciate someone who gives me the bare minimum, because nowadays a lot of people find that hard. But I also appreciate somebody that knows that will give me the bare minimum, but knows that I deserve way more than the bare minimum. And somebody that would meet me halfway. And then I said, sorry, not sorry, and I put the little emoji, like the face emoji, the smiling emoji. So the next character I'm going to talk about is Minho. And now we're going to go into a character that seems like a lot of people's favourite, so a lot of a fan favourite, the one and only Minho. I'm going to be completely honest about my feelings. Some people might disagree, and that's completely fine. You have your opinions, and I have mine, and they are both valid, and they should both be heard. But with that said, I'm not a big fan of the whole Team Minho, and for a lot of the show, we see him being horrible to Kitty for no reason, and that annoyed me a lot. He was funny at times, but a lot of the times he just annoyed me. When it was the sex stream, that surprised me very badly. When it was that scene when they were cooking together, that was very sweet, because that's when you get to see the more soft side of him. But I'm not 100% on shipping him with Kitty, because how he treated her for most of the season, so that puts me like half and half with him. What I would say is that I do prefer him ending up with Kitty than Yuri, which I already explained earlier on why I don't really want Yuri and Kitty to end up together. Something that I do want to talk about is the whole Kitty saying that he's poopy baby. My opinion on that is that with Minho, he kept on calling her Portland Stalker after she told him many times that she didn't want to be called that. So he didn't accept her. So she gave him a taste of his own medicine, which she did say today that, oh, well, he was being rude to her, so he didn't respect her boundaries. So yes, I don't think she should have said it in public, but I do understand why Day was upset. And I don't know if it's proven or not in the show, I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who started it, the Portland Stalker thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. What I see a lot in today's world is, let's say me and a person have an argument, they're calling me names and stuff like that, and I tell them to stop, but they don't, and they can't respect my boundaries, so I push them, and a lot of them feel really more upset with the fact that I pushed person than what they said to me. I don't feel like I do feel like with people there should always be a limit. So there's things that we shouldn't cross. So like bringing up some of these kids, so like those kind of things, there is a limit, so we shouldn't cross them. And if I did cross that line, then yes, I should say sorry or take accountability for my actions. But if not, then if it's not something that's crossing the line like that, then people shouldn't judge me on how I reacted to the situation. It's my reaction, or people shouldn't tone police people. I see where they're coming from, because his mum's an actress and she's not really home, so because of that he's not really getting attention, and he gives off mummy boy vibes. And it's kind of like the storyline, like the villain has a very bad upbringing, so we should feel empathy for the character because they had a very bad upbringing, or we should feel sympathy for the character. I do feel empathy for him, but it doesn't justify his actions. It explains it, but it doesn't justify it. That's what I have to say about him. Actually, I have one more thing to say about him. I'm half and half about his character, but the actor is very good looking, and a lot of the cast in the show is very good looking, so I wanted to leave it on that note. The next character I'm going to talk about is Florian. I can never pronounce this personally. I think it's Florian. With this character, I had a bad feeling from the beginning, and the whole storyline of him being with him and then breaking his heart, I didn't see. What I thought the storyline was going to be is that he has a crush on the guy, so you has a crush on Florian, but Florian doesn't have a crush on him because he's actually straight. But that wasn't the case, so when it turned out he was gay as well, I was like, oh, okay. I was very surprised. I liked him and Q together. I thought they were really cute, and it was really sad how it ended that way. So I think they could possibly get together in the future. Possibly. However, I feel like we have to move forward, not backward. The whole situation with his mom and dad saying that they're in custody for him and he would only stay in the school if he gets his grades up. I feel like he was cheating, but what actually happened, I did think he was cheating, but what actually ended up happening was very surprising. It was kind of doomed from the start, especially after he found out that because he's spending so much time with Q and he's in love with him, that his grades has been going down. So that's why he cheated, so that's why he cheated and then took Day's top spot. To be honest, he didn't seem that sad after he took Day's top spot, so I don't really like him. I do think they were cute together, but I'm not a big fan of the character. So the next character I'm going to talk about is Alex, one of my favourite characters. I found his story very interesting, and I was very surprised that it ended up being that storyline. So when Q says he finds the baby label and gives it to Kitty, the show was very messy, especially the first 3 episodes, and when that happened I was way more invested. There's some people that are likeable and they don't even have to try, and that's what kind of character Alex is. I'm very happy that he got his happy ending, and I wish him the best. I wish I could say more about Alex, but he's not really in it that much. Like, that's his main plot, but I'm happy that he does get to he has this nice relationship with Kitty. I was sad that he didn't end up being Kitty's brother. Like, I would have preferred that way more, but it was still, he still got the happy ending in the end, so I'm happy for him. And he's a really good teacher, and the way that Principal Lee was being like horrible to him, it really got on my nerves. But Principal Lee is just horrible in general, so I'm not surprised. Talking about Principal Lee, or Mr. Lee, the next character I will talk about is Mr. Lee. So these are the types of teachers that make me hate going to school, and I'm glad I'm not going to school anymore. I don't know who hurt him or why he's like that, but clearly he needs to do some self-impacting or self-reflection, because the way he seemed like he's mad at the world, and he was to everyone, especially Kitty and Alex, which he didn't know he his son, so that was so unnecessary. Even though I don't like him as a character, I didn't like how he didn't know that he didn't have a son. That was very sad, like how he found out. So I felt sorry for him for that, but apart from that, I felt no empathy for him. P.S. looking back, maybe it was Corinne's mum. It was because of the mum that he felt like that, because he was like, I do think they was together and then they broke up for whatever reason, and then she got with Yuri's dad. So I think that's probably why he's miserable like that, but still doesn't justify it yet. It explains it, doesn't justify it. The next characters I'll be talking about is Mr. Covey and the stepmom, which I don't know her name, but there's not much to say about these two characters, but they're for Kitty and they're great. That's great that they're there for Kitty. I love how the dad was giving her reassurance. He didn't make her feel like she's crazy or anything like that. The line when the dad says, "Did I allow my teenage daughter to have sex with her boyfriend?" or something along those lines, and then stepmom's like, "No," and she shook her head. That line was a bit cringy, but I understand where they come from, and it was funny. Even though it was cringe, it was funny. Like when I watched it, I think the second time was the first time I did laugh. I loved the first time as well, but it felt more comfortable the first time. Because if I was a parent, that would probably come to my mind as well. So I think it was justified in my eyes. The next character I'll be talking about is Corinne's mom. I think they did good with the character. I had an off feeling from the jump, but when she gave Kitty that look after she showed the picture of Kitty's mum and Yuri's mum, and how she sent Julia away, and to top all of that, saying to Kitty, saying to Quinn, you can like another boy, when she literally just confessed to you, when she literally just came out to you, saying that she's gay. You said, oh, you can like another boy. Like, it's kind of the same with Professor Lee. I tried so hard to root for her, and the fact that your teenage daughter had to tell you about your son is here now and had to tell you to basically do the right thing. I'm letting my guard. I let my guard down with her because of that scene when she's holding Yuri's and Alexander. Like, that was sweet, and I'm glad that she told Professor Lee. But apart from that, I don't have nothing else to say about her. I didn't like her, but what I do like about the show is that is very realistic. The whole her not supporting Yuri because she's gay, like, that is very realistic. That does happen in Korean countries, and not just in Korean countries, but in Korea that does happen, but not just in Korea. There's a ban. Alright. The next character I'll be talking about is Queen's dad. So I could say that he makes okay. Okay, so with Quinn's dad, with Yuri's dad, there's nothing. The next character we're talking about is Yuri's dad. With Yuri's dad, there's not much I can say. He's the fact that I could literally watch paint dry and it would be more interesting than anything that comes about his mom. He reminds me of Mike's dad in Stranger Things, and I'm pretty sure Mike's dad's name is Ted. He's just another deadbeat dad, and every time he speaks, I just got a headache. Yeah, there's not much to say about him. He's just there and he's annoying. And the way that he obviously was just using Day to boost his campaign. And one of my favorite things is when the reporter actually says to Day, like, is this what he's doing? And Day's like, no, I think he can change. He does want to prove. Like, yeah, I don't know. The dad, I don't like that. There's not much I can say. He's just there. Really, he's just there. There's not much to say. The last character I'll be talking about is Madison. Now, with this character, I have mixed feelings. The way she was all over the celebrity guy, I was thinking I would do the same thing because everyone was One Direction or Harry Styles or Beyonce. I would do the same thing. I would get very excited. the way she said yes I do, or yes I did, when she said that she was with Ocean Parks, and basically Minho was like, so you stood me up for grandmother. I think they were very cute together, but it was clear that it was more of a situationship. But it was still sad when she was like to him about how she thought they were just hooking up. She seemed cool, and I liked the part when they were in detention, and Lee basically left, and he put her in charge, and she seemed like she was being serious when she said, "Oh, you heard him, get back to your books." But then when he left, she's like, "I don't care," and she kept the party going. So I think she's cool for that. So that's all the characters I have talked about. Now I'm going to talk about episode by episode. So episode 1, my thoughts of the episode is that it was really good, very funny, and the ending was sad. A lot of very cute scenes, and I felt like crying because I was happy. Then it was like my heart was ripped out of my chest, because when Day and Kitty got together, like when they had that scene in the party or whatever, that was cute. But then when Yuri came and she's like, "Oh, this is Day, my boyfriend," my heart felt like whipped out of my chest. So I could feel like what Katie was feeling. I could feel what Kitty was feeling. Episode 2, it was good. The show is interesting and it's sad at times. I'm glad that Kitty started to figure out what's going on. I don't like Yuri. I can tell she's in the closet. She's like in the closet, so I do feel bad for her. But apparently her personality is just very off putting to me. I feel bad for Kitty and Day, and I like their friend, and his name is Q. Episode 3, it was good. I felt very sad for Day and for Kitty because both of them are both heartbroken. The part when she set up Q with the guy was very sweet, and the ending was very surprising. Episode 4, very surprised that her roommate was filming her sleeping. Kitty has a half brother, and I think it's her teacher because he was adopted by Australians. I love her and Q's friendship. I'm seeing a lot of sparks between Q and the guy he likes, and I found it a very interesting episode. Day still has feelings for Kitty, which is very clear. Episode 5, the episode was very good. I was very emotional from the speech. Minho has a heart, which I'm very surprised that, oh, he actually has a heart, like a soft side. The ending was very surprising. Lee's Alex's dad, which I didn't see it coming. Episode 6, it was very good. Kitty might be having a bisexual awakening. Q and the guy, he liked kids, so I'm happy for them. The guy was cute before he opened his mouth. So the club guy, the one that basically thought that, oh, but if he says nice things about Kitty but insults Yuri, that he will get points, but that's not how it works. The way she stood up for Yuri, even though they don't like each other, was really cute. Episode 7, a really good episode. We learn more about what happened, how it's Yuri's mum who was pregnant, not Kitty's. Q and the guy are official. Day is free. Yuri broke up with Day because she knew that her mum sent her girlfriend away. Episode 8, it was very sad. The scene with Rowan was very sad, and the way Q was there for him. I'm glad that Kitty knows the truth about Day and Yuri, like how they're in a fake relationship, or was in a fake relationship. Yuri was able to talk to her girlfriend, Juliana, which was very sweet. The scene with Minho was sad, but I liked the growth of his character. Episode 9, it was sad. No, it was good. I'm glad that Alex decided to stay, and I think Minho had every right to be hurt. The ending was sad, but I'm glad that Day knows that Kitty has feelings for someone. I feel sorry for Q. He loves Florian so much, and he had every right to act like he did. Episode 10, my thoughts on the episode is that it was good. I'm glad that Q and Kitty made up, and it was really sad seeing Day and Kitty break up, but at the same time, I do understand that a lot has happened to get to where we are now. The ending was very good, and I'm excited to see what happens next. So now I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the season. I found it very interesting. I like the growth of characters. I've seen how much we get to see different characters' point of views. I can see myself in the main character. which is Katie. I can see myself in her a lot, and I like the different recitation. I can never say that word, but I like that what's in the show. The show is very funny, and sometimes I think to myself, what am I watching? But it's mostly in a good way. It does remind me a lot of the show Ginny and Georgia and the movie Edge of 17. I hope they do season 2, and it was a very enjoyable show. The show is a mess, but enjoyable mess at times. I think it could have been a big potential. I think it could have a very big potential for season 2, and hopefully I should be watching. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. And now I'm going to say an update. Okay. Now I'm going to say an update and then I'm going to end this video. So, it has been confirmed that season 2 is coming out. I saw this post on Instagram. So I think his name's Anthony, the person who plays Q. He posted this post about how season 2 has been confirmed, and I'm very excited. And they did this video as well. And Anne, I think her name's Anna, the person who plays Katie, she also talked about it, and she said how she's very happy for the success of season 1 and how much people are loving it. And yeah, I'm very excited to watch it when it comes out. It might not be for a while because we're still having this writer strike, but when the season 2 does come out, I am planning to watch it, and I probably will do a review on it as well. But with all that said, that's all I have to talk about. But as a show, I think it is really good. I think it's very enjoyable. There are some cringe moments and some moments when I feel like, what am I watching? But as a show, I think it's very good. And as I said, there's good things about it and there's bad things about it, which I mentioned in the review already. But with all that said, I hope you guys like this review. Please comment down below what you think. I am planning other reviews. I'm trying to focus on reviews right now. If there's any reviews that you'd like me to do, please let me know. It could be TV show reviews or album reviews. But if you have any, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm going to go now. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out when I post. I love you guys and I'll see you next time. Bye.